was to every day to make every child they encounter feel that they're special and that someone cares about them. And that's something that I live and I breathe that day in and day out, from the time kids get off buses till the time they leave. Every time I see them, I make sure that I'm at the front door of our building and I greet every adult, every child when they come in the morning every day, and they either shake my hand, but in most cases it's a hug. When I can't hug children anymore, I won't be in education. Or I give high fives too. And that helps me identify those kids early on who may have had things happen outside of school that are emotionally disturbing and might keep them from, being in an optimal way to learn. And it gives me a chance then to follow up with those kids and be a listener and a helper at that point, so they'll be ready to learn. We do all kinds of things to engage kids in learning. And just this past year, we tried to write a grant to get a fitness trail around a soccer field at the school. No one would do that. We were turned down from several foundations, so I told our PTO that we were going to do that ourselves. We did. We raised about $8,000 and put in an asphalt track. We wanted the kids to be able to be physically fit as well as mentally fit. So all of the kids on recesses have an opportunity to walk or run around that track. The goal this year was for our entire building to walk at least 6,500 miles from New Era to 8 different amusement parks throughout the United States. And the kids embraced that, actually ended up walking almost 10,000 miles. And at the end of that experience, I told them I'd give them a happening that they wouldn't forget. And we went to an indoor water park, spent the day, and all of the kids and the parents at the end of that day said that that was just the best trip they've ever taken. And with a lot of at-risk families and at-risk students, they'd never have an opportunity to do that. And even though we weren't in the classroom learning, there were many life lessons that were taught. And we do an awful lot with life skills with kids too. We've had all kinds of things. I try to do things to open children's minds. And I've had a circus, a family from Indiana, as a matter of fact, came. I've had hot air balloons take off from our playground. One year I had a person actually parachute onto our soccer. Had elephants around our building, and I actually had told the kids that if they could continue reading at the rate they were, I would surprise them and I would ride an animal around the building, and we did that. And then we actually had a trainer, and the elephant was actually has been in several movies, and that was something that we did too. So we have done many things like that, just to get kids' attention and to get them enthused and energized, and it's really neat. I've milked cows in our front lawn, with kids. I've been duct taped to walls. I've worked out of Volkswagens. We were studying in science different ways to actually adhesion with 4th graders and 5th graders, and they indicated that if they were going to write research reports and papers that were science related, that they felt that somehow I should support that. And one of them saw that there was a college student who was actually duct taped to a wall, and they said, "Mr. Kraai, if you're willing to encourage us, you would certainly show us that by allowing us to duct tape you if everyone follows through with their assignments." And I said, "Okay, you can do that." So I was actually duct taped to the wall by the entire school, and they all came in and were given strips of duct tape, and they put me on the wall. And I sat there for about 15 minutes, and then was allowed to graciously come down. And I think if you can still get kids engaged in learning and enjoying learning, all of these standards that the states are saying that the kids must meet in the objectives, they will do that. They will meet your expectations as long as they know that you feel that they can do it. And I think that starts by making sure that you attend every child, that your teachers attend every child, that everybody gives up all of their time to all of the kids. And in that type of an environment, learning happens. And I think that is probably the biggest thing in the building where I am, which has resulted in achievement. We've been a Golden Apple school twice in the state of Michigan. We were just recognized as one of the 5 highest achieving elementary schools in the state of Michigan this past year. And it happens because the kids know people care about them, and they want them to do well, and the adults do everything that the kids are expected to do. We model everything that we expect them to do in terms of life skills, and we do the same thing in terms of reading and writing. And one of the things that when I enter a classroom, the kids know that I'm going to do whatever they're doing. If it's writing, I write. If it's reading, I'm reading. The kids respond to me every day without even asking anymore. They tell me what books they're reading, what they wrote about in their classroom yesterday during their free reading time.